All right, I'll just do a quick video. I just did a review on my trades, and actually, I have a ton of material that I actually saved. Bunch of charts and then a bunch of notes and stuff. I kind of went back through the screen capture and watched a lot of the tape and stuff, and saw a lot of good things that sort of aligned with my trades. So, and I was gonna go over them all, but I just feel like it's gonna take a while to then go back over it all and show the video and pause and this and that. So maybe I'll do it another time. I'll save the videos. But essentially, when I was watching Facebook here, I was noticing that during this whole time it was taking, excuse me, during this whole time, especially these few minutes, there was no green tape for the most part. If anything, it was all in between the bid and the ask or red. So that was one thing. And here, the idea was that Friday, Facebook had this range, broke out with a cleared new volume here. And I love these levels. I mean, when you have a completely new, brand new VPA, it's almost like a new opening drive play like that. If price can get back to this level, especially soon, you can really trade around that level. And so, and I guess it was sort of an area, wasn't perfect, but so I kind of marked it here, breakdown level from Friday. It sat in a range here, and then it broke down, and I was actually watching it on the 5 minute, but it pulled back, and while it pulled back, so during these 5-10 minutes here, complete ladder to the downside on the bid. So big orders at 235, 230, etc. But nothing really to the top side. However, when it did start to curve around here, there was an order that showed up on the ask. I think it was like 236.50, and I have some of it saved, but I use that as a clue to enter in. So I felt like those were shorts potentially getting in, I guess. And then it did go down from there. So my main target was 230 here, which is the low of Friday. Because essentially here we were in a range. We broke out with this volume. We get back under this level. We want to go back down to the bottom. We had high R-vol. It had energy. It had momentum, so it was going to go down. I would say I probably partialed an extra time in here that I shouldn't have. I'm okay with this, paying myself here, and I'm okay with paying myself once, but I don't know why I partialed another one right next to it. So that was sort of me just not being confident. But I'm happy with this partial here. I'm happy with holding here, and so this was another thing that I watched through my video, and while I was holding through here, I was trying to figure out what more could it do. Is that going to hold? Is it going to bounce? Should I get all out? And at first I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm drawing this line here. We have a nice descending triangle. I mean, literally the tape looked so weak the whole day. So even though when it was going up, it still looked weak. I mean, you could just see every time it would go up, it would tick down. It'd go up a little bit and it would tick down. So, I mean, I was generally still bearish, and I think that's why I held pretty well through all of this. And it did make this triangle, which was sweet, but then it kind of broke through it, which was a little tricky, but then came back down. And so that's pretty amazing, and then it breaks down through a retest and it goes down. And then I added in, obviously it was a bit late, but I think after seeing a nice, really long consolidation here for an hour, we know the longer the consolidation, essentially the more energy is building up to continue the move up or down. And so I think I felt like since my average was really high, I could add in anywhere in this area once it confirmed to me that it was indeed breaking down. So, but what I wanted to go over really quick was like right here. So like what I tend to do now whether I'm in a trade or I'm about to get into a trade, is I look at not only the markets and what they're doing, if they're near a key level, if they are um, about to hit a range, edge of a range, that tells me that they're going to bounce, they're going to stay inside the range, etc. So I'll do that with the markets, but I'll also do it with the big stocks like Microsoft, Nvidia, just any of them. I just go through them all. Apple, especially the ones that are moving well, and then especially the ones that are near good levels. So Microsoft just happened to be pretty decent. I mean, the RVOL was low; it was like 50%, 45%. So I was not going to trade it, but I was just using this as a clue. Okay. So let me zoom in here on the 5-minute. So what I was noticing here was, Microsoft sort of, I don't know. There's nothing special here, but what I was noticing was weak. It was weak, right? And it was making somewhat of a descending triangle, um, just like Facebook. And so I felt like, oh, okay, I really like this 305, the low of day. It feels like there is higher or lower highs pushing down. And if this can break down, we might get, not only a decent move on Microsoft, but that's going to give me more confirmation to hold my Facebook. But it's funny because it actually hit a big bid here at 305, broke down through and came back up and was started going up. And that's, I think, when Facebook also kind of popped up. I don't know, it might have been. I'll have to look at the time. But anyways, so then what I would do is I would keep jumping around. So I jumped to SPY here. And this was where SPY was. Where was SPY? Gosh. Well, anyways, I guess I'm a little confused on what I was trying to go over there, but I'll go over it another time. But essentially I was jumping around Microsoft, SPY, etc. And when I was at SPY, for some reason I think it was right around here. I was bearish Tesla, I was bearish Facebook, I was short both of them, but Tesla was pulling back and Facebook was not breaking down just yet, and Microsoft was kind of bouncing up. So then I looked at SPY, and SPY was coming up right up here. And if you look right here, high of day was 450 right here. So I'm thinking, well, actually, SPY is going to run into resistance here. So my general idea for Tesla, which was actually, it was right here, while SPY was going up, but then it was hitting that range. That told me that, you know what, this is just a pullback and it's going to be over shortly when SPY reverses down. Well, SPY actually did break through a bit, squeezed people out with some volume, consolidated, and then broke right back down. So that was a nice little trap. Trapped a bunch of buyers, which just helped it give it some more juice to go back down. So not only did it have a nice range, but it made it even better by breaking through it and then breaking back down underneath it. So I guess we try to find all the best indicators and moving averages and this and that, and that's great. But what I like to use is I just go through all the stocks and I just find out, are they giving good patterns? Are they by a good level? Okay, they are. Okay, I'm going to set a price alert for if that level breaks or not or whatever. And I keep bouncing around, and it just kind of gives me a better confirmation or maybe a red flag too. Like say SPY would have broken out, would have consolidated and then kept going, right? Well, then I might have thought that the Tesla trade was going to have trouble continuing down here. It might have pulled back and then might have held and then maybe got above VWAP or whatever. Or maybe, maybe it wouldn't have broken out like SPY, but it would have just been more stuck. And so I kind of just combine those like that. But well, anyways, that's all I got for today. I feel like I could talk a lot more, but had two really good trades on Tesla and Facebook. And yeah, so let's have a good day tomorrow. Thanks.